Hi everyone, today I'll be creating some fall DIYs using Dollar Tree items. So let's get started. With this first DIY, I'm going to be using this old box that I created a while back. I'll go ahead and link that video down below if you want to see how I originally created this box. But what I'm going to do is just remove the paint that I had originally put on here, and I'm just going to change it all together. I'm going to start by removing first of all the letters that I had put on there, and I'm just going to try to just take them off with this knife. But I ended up figuring out that really I could just peel the whole paint off and everything would just come off all at once. The only place I couldn't remove the paint is right there on the sides where I was pointing at, and also on the top part. So as you can see though, I do have a pretty much smooth canvas. So what I'm gonna do is just give it a coat of paint using my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Now the box itself is not gonna be in white. I'm just doing this just to give it a fresh, clean exterior. I didn't mention, but this box is made out of foam board, so that's why you see it white. But it does look a little bit beat up, so just giving it this fresh coat of paint would make it look nice and fresh. Okay, so now the paint is dried and this is how the box looks. Now what I'm going to be doing is covering it with some rope. Dollar Tree carries this nautical rope, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to unravel it. That way I can get more for that one bundle. Now I'm going to be laying it down as I'm showing you right there across, but it's too thick and I didn't want it to be too bulky. So like I said, I'm going to unravel it as you see me do right there. This took several minutes to get it all unraveled because for one, it kept getting tangled, but you get the idea of how to unravel this nautical rope. I was able to get 3 full bundles from that one rope. Okay, so now I'm ready to start gluing down the rope, and I'm going to start right there on the edge by placing some hot glue along the very bottom edge and then placing my rope. And I'm going to continue with those same steps going around and around until I cover my box high enough where I want my nautical rope to be. So once I got to the desired height I wanted my nautical rope to be, I went ahead and I cut off the edge and then I glued it down. This did take all the 3 bundles that I got from that one bundle of nautical rope. And now I'm going to be using this white nautical rope, and this is also from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to unravel it. Okay, so now I have my 3 bundles of rope, and what I'm going to do is follow the same steps as I did to the first rope. I'm just going to wrap this one around my box. I'll be starting right there where I ended with the first rope. And here I'm just bringing you up close just so that you can see how it looks with the 2 different ropes. Okay, so I'm done adding now the white rope, and now as you can see there's still a little gap right there on the very top, and now I'm going to add some more of the brown nautical rope. And this is now how my box turned out once I covered it with the 2 different color of nautical rope. I think this box turned out really nice. It kind of looks like a basket. So I'm going to be now adding some flowers and a pumpkin. This is going to serve as a centerpiece for my table. Believe it or not, this is a pumpkin. I had removed the top portion because I had used it as a vase, and I'm basically gonna do the same thing, but I am gonna first give it a coat of paint using some Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I'll be using in my box. Now I'm gonna use some of these greenery that I purchased at Hobby Lobby a while back. I'm also gonna use some of these marigolds from Dollar Tree, and they have like a creamy color to them. I'm also gonna be using these roses, and these are new from Dollar Tree. They have a really pretty orangey color to them, so I'll be using that as the pop of color. And I'll also be using some of these white mums. I also have some florals from Walmart, like these right here. They're 97 cents. I don't know the name of them. I just really liked that light green color that they have. And here's some more Dollar Tree bouquets. So I mainly chose the flowers that were in the light color, more neutral. The only pop of color that I'm gonna have is gonna be the roses. So I wanted something just light and not too heavy on the color for my centerpiece for my dinner table. I'll also be using these picks right here that have these little pumpkins on there. Now Dollar Tree does have their own picks, and I like them, but I really like these better, so I'm gonna be going with these here. Okay, so here's my newly painted pumpkin. As you can see, it's a little bit beat up. But it's okay. I think that I can make it look nice. So what I'm gonna start doing is just adding my florals in there. Now I did pre-cut them so that it would be easy to go ahead and just stick them inside the foam and just make it a lot easier for me. This of course is just an idea that I'm giving you. You can use any of the florals that you would like. Just pick out a pumpkin, carve out the center, and then just put whatever color of flowers that you'd like. And this is how my pumpkin bouquet turned out. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with the main centerpiece, and I'm gonna start by adding the greenery. And then once I do that, I'm gonna add the pumpkin in the center. And then I'll start adding the remainder of the florals that I have. I will be cutting some of the stems on some of them, and some I will not. It just depends how it'll start looking as I start to arrange them. For this next project, I'm going to be using this pumpkin wire form, and this is from Dollar Tree, and I'll also be using some of this chunky yarn. So what I'm going to do is cover the entire wire using the yarn. I'm going to start up at the top by hot gluing the end of the yarn and work my way around the outer wire first, then continue on with the vertical wires until the entire pumpkin is covered with yarn. Every so often I will add some hot glue just to secure the yarn and then continue rolling it around the wire. And this is how my pumpkin turned out now with all the yarn. And now what I'm gonna do is cover the stem using some nautical rope, and I'm just gonna hot glue that to the top. And just wrap the nautical rope around the stem. And this is how my wire pumpkin has turned out so far. And now I'm just gonna embellish it by adding a Dollar Tree pick. I'm just gonna cut it and then hot glue it up at the top of the stem of the pumpkin, and then also add a small bow that I created with some Dollar Tree ribbon. Well, that's it for these fall DIY ideas. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and also share. I'd really appreciate it. You have yourself a blessed day. And remember, love, laugh, and create. Until my next video, bye-bye and God bless.